It's technique only.
Welcome to the Sowing Seed Podcast. One guy's thoughts on family, faith, farming, and financial freedom. Now, from the studio on top of a hill in a very, very remote location, here's your host, Matt Miller.
I've mentioned in some of the earlier episodes that my first career was as an Air Force pilot, and most specifically an Air Force instructor pilot after finishing up pilot training in 1990. Well, one of the things that we learned as a student pilot, and later when I became an instructor pilot, spent a lot of time talking about, was something called technique only. See, the students would fly with a variety of different instructor pilots as they went through their flying syllabus during that 6 months of pilot training that they were with us in the T-38. Well, along the way, there were a variety of things that they were constantly graded on and monitored and taught about, to include takeoffs and landings, a variety of aerobatics, formation flying. Well, along the way, we had to be very, very specific when it came to things in the airplane that were technique and things that were life-threatening and therefore had to be done the same way over and over and over again, regardless of who the pilot was. Things like emergency procedures and how they were conducted had specific parts within the Dash 1 and within the checklist that had to be followed verbatim, step by step, to make sure that somebody, quite honestly, didn't kill themselves flying the airplane. But then there were techniques as far as how to enter a loop, how to fly a loop, how to fly an aileron roll, how to do a traffic pattern, etc. And as an instructor pilot, we spent a lot of time differentiating between what was life-threatening and what was technique only. Well, even though in most cases not life-threatening, technique only has the same applicability in all of our lives. Whether it be in our careers, whether it be in our households or our marriages, some things have got to be done the same way over and over and over again, and there's a reason for it. But then other things are technique only. And so when you are working with your peers within the office, if you're growing a business, if you are coexisting with a spouse or kids or other family members, I think it's important that we remember the difference and realize that we all have our own way of doing things. And even though we may not oftentimes agree with the way somebody else is doing it, as long as the job gets done and as long as it's something that we would consider technique only, it's wise that we let the other person do what they're doing the way they want to do it instead of trying to change them. I remember when Amy and I were married early on, and she had certain ways that she wanted things done in the kitchen. Well, I did them differently. I had certain things and ways that I wanted things done around the house or in driving. Well, she did them differently. Those created a lot of strife in the early years and conflict until we both realized that, okay, I'm not necessarily going to do things in some cases the way she would do them and vice versa, but that's okay. And to allow one another enough space to do those things our own way. Is it technique only? God bless you guys.
Thanks for listening. Check out our website, sowingseed.net, the Sowing Seed channel on YouTube, and if you got something out of today's podcast, give us a 5-star review on your podcast player of choice. Until next time, go plant the seed you need to succeed.